All right, yo. Hey, take two. Let's do this again. Yo, the episode that never came. We talked about it. But, we in here with some special people right now. Something that's overdue. As I was, we speaking earlier and briefly, episode 200 was the time that you was here, along with Deshaun J, who's also in the building. Yes, let's not forget about him.
Yes, we.
And Fish, everybody was in the building that day. And as I said,
packed. Oh, shit.
It was a party. It was a celebration.
First time I met Fish.
Yeah.
That's the first time I met.
Oh, he's a wild guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fish. That's my guy.
We got music together and shit now. So.
That's super dope, man.
Because of the cheap suits.
He's also our official intro music for the podcast too. So shout out to my boy Fish. It was a celebration, as I was saying earlier, and a milestone.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You just reached another one.
Just hit another one. Yeah, man. It's amazing. It's incredible, man. I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And but it was only a matter of time before you became a part of the show again.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this intro right, man. Royalty is in the building.
Yes, sir.
We here. We got Deshaun in the building. Yo. Nah, man. Hey, and of course, Brotha Juice is in the building.
Brotha Juice is in the building.
Glad to be here, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Oh, you mind telling us again the name?
The name. Okay. Yeah, no, I get that a lot, actually. It's funny just because there was this one summer, I was working out and I was in sports at the time. And in that specific time period, I was watching the movie Juice over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So as that began to progress, my brothers are making jokes, oh, you must have the juice. You got the juice, right? And took it upon myself, and that just became a nickname. And, not only in my personal life, people started calling me that, but in professional settings and business life, it started to carry over. So it's just something I began to embody.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yo, I think I started to find out that's the way that a lot of our names have come about. Like, especially when we're young, we dabbling with names and stuff.
Right.
Like, what's going to be the rap name? What's going to be, if you're in entertainment, any kind of other entertainment, what's going to be my name for that? And then when you have something that might not be set in stone, it becomes set in stone.
Right.
By the people.
Exactly.
That to me, that's kind of crazy. But, Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Before we jump all into the music stuff, I want to know kind of like where your mindset is at. How you been? How the last year and a half been since I've seen you?
Great, man. Like I said, I can't complain. I just feel like when we were coming here, what were we promoting? The Midnight EP? Or no, excuse me, the Virgo season.
Virgo season just came out, I believe.
It had just came out. So it's like since then, so much has happened, right? Like I dropped the Sincerely Deshaun too. And with that, it just kind of took off in a way we didn't really expect it to. You know what I mean? Like we, started booked for more shows.
That run was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. We ended up getting...
You was going on a crazy run for a little bit.
Yeah, we ended up getting the Chop Stars, the Chop mixtape, Slim K, the Chop Screw the mixtape. You know what I mean? First nigga out of Converse to get a Chop Screw mixtape by the Chop Stars. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Salute.
So that, shout out to Converse.
Yeah, man, salute. Appreciate that. So, like I said, just continuing to try to develop and get to this moment, right? Like, because we've been, waiting to drop Crown, which comes out now on February 20th. Finally, we've been working on that, and it's like everything that we've done, like, has been like building blocks to that. You know what I mean? Like Jay will tell you, like I was working on Crown when he was over there, like, and we were making Virgo season. Like I had already had this album, like, we had already planned it, had like the subject matters and a lot of the beats picked out and things like that. We've just been like kind of like making sure that it's like the best presentation and body of work that we want to give out. And I feel like it is. Like we went from, 80 songs, if you will, probably 100 songs to these 12. So it's like...
If I'm not mistaken, though, this project's been in the works for a while.
Yeah, like 4 years now.
It's been a while.
Jesus.
4 years. Yeah. The oldest song on here is probably 4 years old.
Crown was, I think, the other drink at the party.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
The irony.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. But why has it taken so long, you think? Just being a perfectionist?
I won't even say perfectionist because it's still not perfect. Like it's, I've already submitted it to be released and there's shit I want to change now. But it's like, it'll never be perfect. I think that it takes so long because I really live the shit that I be talking about. Like, so, and it takes time to live to create new memories and things like that. So it's not like I'm not dropping music in between.
Yeah.
It's just that we're not dropping music of this type of
Magnitude,
concerted
maybe.
effort. You know what I mean? Like this type of effort that we're putting into this project takes time. You know what I mean?
This is your heart and soul, really.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I keep telling people, this is not a follow-up to Sincerely 2 or a follow-up to Virgo Season or a follow-up to the Midnight EP or a follow-up to Girl 2, like any of the shit that we've dropped. This is a follow-up to King, the album that we dropped in 2019.
Yeah, it was
right?
a few years back.
Yeah, so or 2020. I want to say 2019 or 2020, but yeah, this is a ode to the follow-up to that, because I do things in threes, so it's going to be a 3-part series. It's going to be King, Crown, Royalty. So, when this is all said and done, we'll have those 3 albums. Like, if you look at the covers, like both the covers are like me, the side face profile of me, like looking a certain way. You know what I mean? Like King and Crown now, and Royalty is going to be the same way. So it's like, we already have it like planned out. It's just like now I have to live, like to make the
content.
Music, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just like, oh yeah, well, let's just throw these, because we have like 100, like we have
the vault is deep,
hella songs like in the vault, like because we don't just like put anything on everything, like we take time. So it's like we could make 5-6 albums with just the unreleased shit that we have, but it's like we have a plan, and Juice has a plan, and we're kind of like trying to put a certain effort into certain things that we think will be more successful than others.
And I think just to pick your brain, because obviously a lot of the conversations that happen here, or just even in just a hangout setting, right? A lot of it is with artists. So I like to like kind of figure out what their mindset is when they're going into this. Like, what do you do that the next man is not doing, right? So like visually, like, are you planning to do visuals before album projects come out? Because a lot of people, I feel like they let their project come out and then it gets old for them, and they never capitalize on what that project could have been. And they don't do the visuals in a timely manner. And to them, sometimes the songs do get old, or you're already moving on to the next. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, and you sound like somebody who's kind of, you think a lot on this. You plan everything strategically. So is that all in the game plan?
Yes, I mean essentially. So the songs don't really get old to us because like the music is not like in a space of time. Like these aren't like timestamps.
There's longevity in it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I said the oldest song on here is probably 4 years old, and you wouldn't be able to tell because it's not like the beat sounds old or that the bars are old, like or that the flows are old. Like it's the same like as kind of what we're doing now. So it's like that doesn't happen for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't happen for us in particular because we're not in like a space of time like when we're being creative. Not in my brain. Some things have time like kind of crunches for the sake of other people, but not really like for us. Like I don't really think of time. Like if we don't drop another video for Crown until 6 months after this, it's because things were going on and niggas were living. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like with Kickback, like Sincerely Deshaun 2 was out for a year before the Kickback video came out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a year. Like, and the Kickback video came out and it was like, oh shit, like, this is still a very good song. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not like people are like, oh, that's an old ass song. People are like, finally a video of that shit. Like, we fuck with that hoe, you know what I mean? So, for us, it's the same sort of thing. Like, I don't give up on the music because I know that it doesn't have to be like, one of these newer songs that does it. It could be one of the older songs that just catches fire. Like, you know what I mean? You just keep going and put the same effort into everything. Like I said, so I think differently for us is just the effort and the thought process that goes into releasing music. Never have I ever just said, today we release a song. Like, you know what I mean? And then we just release a song into the zeitgeist for no reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like that does not happen. That's not who we are. That's just not who we, aspire to be either. Like we try to be calculated with what we do, and it shows. Like, you know what I mean? It shows when it comes out. Like you could tell, oh, these guys really thought about that rollout and really, processed that rollout.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything they thought about.
So. Go ahead.
And even just piggybacking off of that, it's like understanding from, me being the manager and understanding things from a business perspective, there's a market, right? There's an untapped market in regards to the potential audiences that we can really reach with this project.
Yeah.
And another thing that speaks to the longevity of what we're trying to do here is, if 6 months from now we realize that we're focusing on a song and there's a specific audience that really likes that song, we wouldn't have been able to tap into that audience if we didn't take time to figure out, who's liking what and where we can really appeal to them. So that's where kind of like the that time period that comes in between projects comes from, is understanding, hey, there's still a group of people that haven't heard this song yet or haven't heard this piece of the album yet that we think that they would really like, that would really touch and affect them in a positive way.
I guess that makes sense too, because then you also get to see where the fan base is gravitating to,
Right.
you know, what they feel is the hottest, because there's always going to be favorites.
Yeah.
You know, I was just talking earlier, you know, I received the album and I was listening through it, and I was just, the first thing I said was, it's a fucking vibe. It's a fucking vibe.
Salute.
And, you know, and I was telling them, because I know that there's a song that we're going to play later, and I was like, honestly, like, all first listen, I'm a intro instrumental guy.
Sure.
Didn't know that the song that I was gravitating to until they told me, Deshaun J, shout out to Deshaun, was that my favorite song was the intro, apparently. And I was like, well, to me, intros are a big deal.
Yeah, sure.
You know, that sets the tone for a whole project.
Whole project, right.
And that's sometimes I feel like that's a lost thing, like with people and their album making or their EPs, whatever the case may be, is there's not always, you don't have that impact intro record.
Sure.
And immediately before I even heard any vocals, I was like, "Yo, this instrumental."
I told him it was that. I'm not gonna spoil it for those who haven't heard it yet. But yeah, those first couple seconds of the intro.
Yeah, it's crazy. And for me, that's, like I said, that's a big deal. That makes me gravitate to a project a lot more. It's just like, yo, they did what they had to do on the intro to make me gravitate to this project already. So I'm already like locked in, and I'm just like, all right, cool. So for me, not knowing that was the intro record at first, and now I do, I'm like, well, this makes a lot of sense. Even the beat selection, everything made sense. So overall, though, you know, I will say I skimmed through this, and I know people haven't heard this album at all. So I don't even know when it's coming out.
The 20th, it's 10 days.
Okay, so it's coming soon.
T-minus.
I already heard it. You know, I will hear it again. You know, like my first listen, I think, is always like, get a feel of the project, right?
Sure, yeah.
And then, you know, 2-3 listens in, this is when we're really trying to dissect the whole thing.
Right.
You know, what's he talking about? You know, I'm also catching for other sounds in the instrumentals and things of that sort. So these things matter to me. And it's also going to decide how long am I going to be listening to this later? Like how involved am I in this record? Like how do I feel about it?
Right. Yeah.
And but overall, man, I think that people who, when they hear this, it's going to blow them away. I personally think so. And like I said, you know, a lot aside from the intro, like even each beat, like everything is just, I see it as ride around music. This is vibe music. I could listen to it, you know, if I'm just chilling at the crib.
Yeah.
I could listen to it on the ride, you know, and I typically drive at night, so it makes a lot of sense too.
That's one of the like the things that, like, when people ask me like what are the, like, when you make music, or what are one of your goals, my goal always, like, at the end of the song being made, like once I get the beat, once I think of what I'm gonna do, like on it, once it's all out mastered, the goal is for it to be the most optimal car ride experience that you could
Yo, because that's
possibly
where you
have,
listen to
like,
music the
you know what I'm saying?
most.
Like, exactly.
You know?
So it's like, you know, in your cabin, in your sound cabin, like, how can I make this as entertaining as I possibly can? So we like to do little shit with like stereo and, you know what I mean,
Sure.
mono, and like, you know, left and right like channels, and try to use panning and all kind of things to make it like just the optimal like listening experience. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
right. Like I like when, like, if you like, for people who like real like audiophiles, if you will, like, if you're like watching Netflix or something, or like HBO Max or whatever, and you have in headphones, or even if you're close enough to the loud TV, you could tell if someone walks across the room, like from right to left, the steps in your headphones will go from, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
left to right.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like you can peep like the effort that the sound engineer for that movie or whatever, that show, put into that one little thing that somebody without headphones might not even notice. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they might just be watching on their little TV, like with the volume low and the captions on, and it just says walks across, you know, hall, and they don't even notice that it does that. So for us with the music, we try to do little things like that, you know, that didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, we had a long talk with Trev and our planners, like in our planners like group message about the intro. Remember, Trev was like, "What if, like, you know, Trev's so ambitious, but he produced most of the album, and he's our guy. Like, he's the main producer
Shout
for
out to
RYLTY.
Trev.
Yeah, he lives in Detroit. He's always working and thinking on ideas for me.
Ooh, Detroit,
like, yeah. So that's why
fucking cold.
that's why the album kind of, we get a different sound from Trev. Like, he kind of meshes with my Texas kind of, you know, southern vibe, and brings some of that Detroit like funk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To it. So he was having a long conversation with us, like, what I could produce this. I have an idea for, playing an instrumental like within the same key of the first song and then like slowing it down and speeding it up at the beginning of it. And me and Juice were just like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. Sounds great. The intro we have,
Man.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's a group thing. Like I said, I was telling Juice last night, like everything that I always do goes through the proper channels, right? Like when I make a song, like it's hot off the press, right? I call this guy first, right? Like I call Deshaun J first, and we do like a listen on FaceTime. I share my screen, and sometimes he be like, "You got to go back in there and fix this, and that." In my opinion, but other than that, that shit's great. And then I send it to the royalty group message, and I say, boom. No context, no nothing. Niggas. Bam. Just the MP3 file.
Those are my favorite messages.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm
no,
like, oh, okay.
no, nothing. No, I don't at nobody. I don't say I was working in the studio. I just, bam, niggas just get an MP3 with a name on it and it say a producer.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I wait. You know what I mean? Like, and like I was telling Juice last night, sometimes out of the 6, 7 niggas in the group message, I'll get one heart. And I'll say, all right, tomorrow. I'm on y'all asses. I'm gonna get 6 hearts.
Yeah,
You'll give him a day at least.
He's competitive.
Even if they never give me the heart, I'm gonna get back in the studio and send another song until they say, okay, everybody hearted that song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this just happened last week. I sent the song last week. It didn't really get no love. I said, okay, fuck y'all. I go back in the studio the next day. I send another song. Bam. Niggas is like, oh, that shit hard. Damn, what you on? Da da da. I don't even respond. Because I'm still in the studio.
Yeah.
I sent another song.
Joke. Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah,
Nigga said, oh, shit. Like, you going whoa,
This guy's wildin'.
These last 2 songs. Bruh. And then I sent another song.
Just
3
like that
songs.
LeBron meme. He said, thank y'all for taking this ride for me. Here go 2 more for y'all.
2 more for y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what happened. So it's like, I seen it, because like I said, I send it through the royalty channels, like, because it's like, this represents all of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this represents all of us. Granted, I'm the voice or the mascot, like, artistically. It's got to be, like, a product that, makes everybody look and feel like they're proud of it.
Yeah, because they got to feel it. They got to feel it first.
Yeah, exactly. They got to feel it first because they're going to rep it harder than, anybody, and it's going to represent them. You know what I mean? Like, it represents us. So it's like, it represents all of us. It's just that I'm the one with the, the vocals in the studio, but it's like, it's still what we all believe.
Yeah, it's all of us. Team means everything, and I'm glad that one big thing that I took from what you said is you're able to take criticism and you're able to take just feedback from people within your camp. I'm not sure how far out you branch out, like because I know like even for Deshaun will go ahead and send me records as well. I don't think I'm anybody who really has the proper input like some other people might have.
Sure,
okay,
but I do have an ear, and I'm like, well, you know what? For me,
if he sends it to you, he thinks you have something, nigga. Like, so you know what I'm saying? If he sends it to you, because I don't send, because like I said, I don't send it to like I don't send music to like you know what I mean, just anybody. Because it's like, what the fuck are you gonna like? What does your input matter? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but for certain people that I know are invested, that really listen to music, that like music isn't just like a background thing to them. Like it's something that is like foreground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For those people, I'll send you music and be like, what do you think? And you're like, this shit fire. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or this shit, I love when I send music to people and they tell me like what the song like makes them think of or like reminds them of. They'll be like, it just feels like I'm walking on the beach and it's nighttime and it's a full moon and it's like the wind is blowing and I have on a white button up and the wind is blowing my button up open and I have the top 2 buttons open with the chain my grandma gave me on, and it's a beautiful lady down the way.
It's a whole description.
And when
Gets
people do shit like that, I'd be like, all right, that's great. Like that's the one.
That might be a keeper record right there.
It did something to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so even if you don't have like, oh, I think that you need to cut the low end at 120 on the vocal and amp up the if you don't have that, you do have. Man, when I listen to that shit, I felt like I need to go get my fresh polo and iron the sleeves real hard so you can see the line when I put that hole on both sides of my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? And put on my khakis and my Dockers, my favorite Dockers, and step out. I don't know what Star be wearing. I'm just shitting on them, but just put on whatever.
What you see is what you get, really. I mean, I did feel like Brotha Juice came in. I felt like I should have came in with a suit.
On all of us. Exactly.
He did, man. That's like, I could have worn a gold chain today. I didn't bring no jewels. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what he did. He came in and he showed us why he lived up to his name.
You know what? But honestly, just aside from everything that we're talking about, like this is what a manager is supposed to look like. I feel like.
Agreed.
He walks into rooms and people don't just see him as just somebody passing through.
Sure.
looks like he means business, or he's about business. And I think that, sometimes, and, no disrespect to, other camps and however they move or whatever, but like sometimes, based on somebody's appearance or their presentation, their way of speaking, you might not be taken all the way serious all the time.
Right.
He walked in, I was like, manager, right away, a real one. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to see that, because you guys maintain the professionalism. Just the way you speak about the music itself. This is a lot of things that a lot of artists they don't speak in that format. Sure. And maybe they don't even see it that way either. And I think that's a big importance because this is a business at the end of the day. You are selling a product, and how are you going to have people take you serious if you don't seem serious? You know what I'm saying? Sure. Not only that, but like, you see artists too, like, we are expected to dress in a certain form whenever, we're on stage, things of that sort. And some of these guys don't look like performers either. No. And I'm just like, yo, man, that might not be it, bro. Like, you might have lost the ladies immediately when you walked in.
they don't respect the craft, man. I think that when you respect the craft, you understand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I done been around niggas who respect the craft crazy, who don't got no money, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I've been around them niggas about to do a show, and they like, come with me to Walmart, nigga. I need to go get a fresh pack of white tees because my white tee tonight not finna be wrinkled.
Yeah.
Nigga put on a fresh pack of white tees, like his fresh white tee or fresh beater, and just his favorite pair of jeans, iron them hoes.
Did his best.
Nigga hitting his Air Force Ones with the motherfucking toothbrush, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause he don't got no money. He don't got like no, what niggas drip, like, you know what I'm saying? All the drip, the Givenchy and all.
Do they still say that?
Yeah, niggas be on that bullshit. Yeah, exactly. Niggas be on that
dead.
bullshit. Niggas, a lot of lame shit lasts forever with niggas, but
this is facts,
but that's all I'm saying. Like, I think it's just about respecting the craft, like respecting what you have to do. Like I said, I got a homie, he was going to do perform. I'm watching this nigga scrub the Air Force Ones and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he talking about, I gotta get right, nigga. We're gonna be on stage tonight, nigga. What you wearing, nigga? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not even on stage. He like, but you gonna be with me, nigga. Like, you're gonna be in a picture. You're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? And back then, like, that was like someone I was like kind of looking up to who was performing and shit like around the city and shit. And I seen like that nigga, he respected the craft. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's a culture thing, man. You gotta like, you have to look a certain way. A lot of hip hop is based around fashion. It's based a lot of like caring about how you look, you know what I'm saying? Presenting it, making others want to be like you, dress like you. Yeah. That how often did back in the day when Wayne was at his peak, and people wanted to dress just like Wayne. People found out what Bape was because of Wayne, you know what I'm saying? And like these things mattered to people and they was diehards. Like you couldn't say something negative about a Wayne because that was like a brother to them now. It was like family to them now.
And Currency, my nigga from the boot will tear my ass up if I don't say it. And Currency was wearing Bape.
Yeah.
And,
Currency be on some fly ass shit though.
Yeah, he always has.
I more or less look at the cars. The cars and the sneakers I'm sold already.
So Game, man, that nigga stay with the cars and shit. The Jets, nigga, that nigga was killing and shit.
Bro,
with the cars.
The thing with some of these artists too is like the independence that they have. As artists, they don't got to be the biggest mainstream rapper. They're not all over. The music video channels and wherever they play all that shit. Like you're not gonna see him everywhere, but he has that cult. Right. And that's something that I think has become more important to like artists who actually care about their fans and shit is the fact that like I do have my cult following. I could put things out and they're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't have that. They have the, the moments, which I call it, and it is what it is. But, that cult following is different.
Yeah. Yeah,
you sound like you want to say something.
No, we having a good fun. I just think that you just want to make sure that you like I guess like are just like realistic about what your goals are, like what you're what you're trying to do, because if not, you're just kind of shooting in the dark. Like I'm never looking to just have moments. Like I like the longevity of that people know who we are, like royalty as a conglomerate, like us all together. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not, I tell Juice all the time, when people think about royalty, at this point, they don't even think about me. Like, you know what I mean? Like at this point, the first person that comes to mind is him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, because of the way that he's put it on different fronts than just music. Like, you know what I mean? This nigga was like running track, like, you know what I mean? D1 college and shit with the royalty, like across his head, across his chest, like, you know what I mean? Like
representing.
Exactly. So he was just putting it on in a different way, essentially than I ever have been able to with just the music. So I think that that's important. And like you said, I think that we we like to adopt some of that, you know, Jet Gang and Taylor Gang, Our Future Wolf Gang, you know, what Big Sean them niggas used to be called? Finally Famous or
Finally famous,
FFOE or whatever, Finally Famous Gang. All these niggas like the Beehive and what's the other people, the Navy, and you know what I mean? Like we try to, the Barbs, there we go. Like can't forget them.
Everybody wants to be a part of something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you know, we try to adopt some of that with what we do, because essentially that be the people who shit like really connect, because their shit connects with their people. Like their people are gonna make sure it gets out there. Their people are gonna make sure that that their artist is heard. You know what I mean? And I think that that's like super important to us, because that's how it happens. You know what I mean? It's not me that's going to put us on in the way. I'm just the mascot. I'm just, like I said, the guy who goes to the studio. Essentially, it's going to be.
It's really us.
Right.
Exactly. It's us as a collective. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that one thing that is important, you know, to all of us as well. Me and Deshaun, we were talking on the phone last night. As we've referenced a few times, we're always talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the goals really is to cultivate an experience for those who hear the music. And it's our prayer before every show, right, is that everybody who hears this music is blessed or touched by it in a positive way, right? And forever, right? And, you know, not just in that moment. And I think that when you understand that you have something that's special and that can bring people together, and you're constantly, you know, creating an environment or an experience where they can come together and show that love, and now they're meeting other people that have or share the same goal, that's when things really start to take off. And now people are, you know, it's like a well-oiled machine. You know, you have a leg over here. You have somebody rowing on this side. You have somebody rowing on this side. We got somebody hosting the sail, right? So we got somebody looking out and make sure that there's no other boats in the water that could get in our way. So it really becomes a team effort, and it's not just, you know, he, but it is we. You know, the crown is bigger than just Deshaun.
Me.
The crown is us.
It's all of us as a collective.
And that's another important point that you made, is that the fact that, like, I think a lot of these, you know, and I'll typically point out other camps, not that I know the names of them, but, you know, like, where they're not doing it in that format. They're not doing it in that way. You know, you said he was wearing royalty shit, like, while running or doing whatever he's doing, right? On some athlete shit. And how often do you see it where people are taking the merch, the branding of, you know, who they represent, and going everywhere possible just to show it off? Because if you go to a track meet, there's going to be people watching
from everywhere.
They're going to see what's going on. If you go to even if you're just shopping, you're going, you know, a party, a club, whatever the case may be, whatever you're into, and you're wearing this branding, it's going to be seen.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do this shit, you know, and, you know, that's one thing that I think people lack a lot. But yet they cry the most about why their brand is not all over the place. It's like, yo, your own camp doesn't wear it.
Exactly.
You know, the people that, you know, are you giving merch to people so that way, you know, they can wear it? Even if you got to do a few free giveaways to, like, just casuals, you know what I'm saying? Like,
are they bought in?
Go somewhere where it's popping, where people go, you know, whether it's a promoter, whoever, just somebody who is maybe just a good influence. Let them rock the brand. You know, if they like the merch and they get to wear it, they're showing you off. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, they tag where where they can get it and things of that sort. And it's all coming together. And I think that people just don't do that. They don't, or even teams don't press or, like, you know, kind of make it a mission to where the group as a collective goes around and how they're going to move, like, with this merch. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you could really promote this anywhere you go.
Exactly.
And people are not doing that.
I think that it's a bigger, like Juice said, it's a bigger than us thing. And we all know that, like, royalty, like the crown, what it's capable of, like, is much bigger than all of us, and, like, what our individual contributions are to it. So essentially, like, you know, everybody puts, like, a concerted effort for whatever it is that their talent is that they're bringing towards, you know, further in the crown, right? So it's like, you know, this happens all the time where someone will be at the mall or something, or, you know, wherever, and they'll, like, you know, sneakily take a picture of somebody with, like, a royalty hoodie on or something, and they'll be like, do you know him? And they'll be like, no. Like, you know what I mean? But this shit's bigger than us now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, there are people who have royalty shit that, like, they get it, like, somebody bought it for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it may have came through us. Like, granted, they may have hit Juice up or hit me up, like, can we get some merch, da-da-da. And then we get them the merch, and they give it to their dog. I walked into church one time, no lie. I walked into church, no lie. And my grandma, like, with her walker, is, like, walking into the church. And I put my arm around her, hey, Granny, what's nah, you got on a royalty shirt. Like, what's
Granny
up with
putting
you?
on.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like my grandma, like, you know what I'm saying, had
Yeah.
on a royalty shirt. And I don't think she knows what that does, like, for the brand or whatever. But I think she just like, I'm supporting my baby. Like, you know what I mean? But
You know, and that's
it's bigger than
crazy because, you know, it could be like just grandma going to church. But who knows how many people grandma's going to encounter
They ask
when
her
church
about
lets
that.
out.
Exactly.
You know?
And then she tells them too. My girl, she's like, he wrote it too. He drew the crown. That's my
You know what I'm
grandson.
saying?
Like,
Yeah.
she loved me for real. And she don't realize that she's furthering the crown herself, like in that way. So it's like, these niggas not giving their grandmas they rap merch. Like, you know what I mean? It's not cool. Like, it's not cool. Like, that shit is, you know what I mean? Niggas on there, like, it's a cartoon of them smoking a blunt or something, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them putting up 2 middle fingers to the camera, like, you're not giving that shit to granny. Like, she not wearing that shit to church. Like, it's got the bandana print all around the bitch or something. Like, you're not giving that to granny. So it's like, it's different though. Like, what we're doing, it's kids. Like, we did a football 7-on-7 tournament, last year, with the San Antonio Tone Babies, the 210 Tone Babies. So we did a 7-on-7. Like, we went and like hosted, like walked around, talked to kids, gave out shit. Man, I was walking around and some of them motherfuckers already had on royalty hoodies and stuff. And I was like, where do y'all get this stuff from?
They're with
like,
it
who
already.
do y'all know, like, that I made this for, or that, you know what I mean, like that you got this. Like, how did that happen? And sometimes I can't even trace it back, but I'm not, you know, I like it. Like, you know what I mean? I like it. It used to just be that all the homies had the hoodies, right? Like, it used to be all the homies had the shirts, and then there's the homies and the homie girlfriend, or the homie and the homie wife, or then I'm making a onesie for the homie baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then it was just like, shit, I don't know who this go to, but I'm meeting some random person at North Star for
It's
10
going
royalty
somewhere.
hoodies.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, they wanted 6 purple and 4 green. Like, you know what I mean? And I just be like, I don't know you, but thank you so much. And they be like, Deshaun, yes, thank you so much. I love the royalty shit. And I'm like,
That's an aggressive handshake they gave you.
bro.
Yeah.
And then the niggas, what be funny is sometimes they don't even know I make music. They
Yo,
be like, yeah, I love the clothing brand. And I'm like,
hey, keep it up.
Appreciate you.
You know what? Hey, I can't even be mad at that because I was actually wearing one of my own shirts, for the pod, right? And I was like at a food truck park, and I'm just, ordering shit. They're like, oh, yo, the Chief Suits merch. And they're like, yo, like, you representing that, or like, whatever, or like, where'd you get that from? I was like,
I'm starved.
I'm like, yeah.
You don't know who I am?
They had no idea who I was. And I was just like, no, yeah, it's the pod, man. It's like, they're like, oh, are you just rocking it? Like, you bought the merch and stuff? Like, no, it's kind of me.
I'm like, if they kept talking, I'm sure they would have.
The conversation changed, obviously.
Exactly.
It changed, and they were just, I was like, yeah, you mean, some people just don't, they're not paying attention right away. They just see branding, and they're just gravitating to that, and they're not realizing, like, yo, that might be the cat from the shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a Spotify only fan.
You know what I'm saying?
That fan right there, they only listen on Spotify. They don't never see you. They just keep playing to your shit, put it in the headphones.
They know what you sound like, but not what you look like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's fair. At the same time, like, I understand that a lot of people, they listen on the go. Even if it's not music related, that's crazy.
Hey, Nemo just almost broke through 6 chairs. I can't lie.
Almost got it.
It's crazy. I was trying to keep my composure, but Star brought it up.
I thought about it too. I seen a reaction. I had to
I
do
wasn't
it.
gonna say nothing.
There's a hospital around the corner too,
Yeah,
man.
we'll
We
get you
good, man.
there,
We
dog.
take care of you. But shit, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, man, just like these, just the merch itself, just to be able to go somewhere and people like, they can see that brand and not realize that, like, oh, I listen in audio form, whether it's the music, podcasting, anything that you're watching, interviews, and they might not realize, like, putting the face to whoever, represents his brand. And so to me, it's no big deal. Like, I'm just happy to, I can go around and people, like, they recognize it. They've seen it before, things like that. So I'm like, maybe I'm doing the right thing.
Because it's the same with us. We don't want to be famous. We want the product to be famous.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
at
you know what I
the end of the
mean?
day, that's what you're working on.
Like, yeah, we're working on the product being famous. The most embarrassing shit in the world to me is when I'm in Lock and Terror or when I'm in North Star and somebody's like, hey, are you Deshaun? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, can I take a picture with you really quickly? And then my palms start sweating, like, irately, because I'm like, I don't do it for that. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool that it comes with that, but I'm a super, like, socially anxious person. Like, a lot of people don't know that, but I'm not, like, you know what I'm saying, running around taking pictures with strangers in the mall when I'm just trying to, like, get a button up for a wedding or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not, like, my MO. That's just not who I am as a person. You know what I mean?
But it comes with this,
But
really.
it comes with it, and it's
byproduct,
like,
for sure.
you know, that is not my goal for everybody in the world to take pictures of me. But if everybody in the world screenshotted the album, like, you know what I mean, then I would be like, oh, I'm on cloud 9.
Excited,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, that's my goal for the album for this guy. You know what I mean? To be famous, like not even famous, but just known for what they're known for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, fame is a whole nother kind of nasty thing. I don't really care about fame. I want the product to be famous. I want the message to be famous. I want like our love for one another. Like I was telling Juice the other day, I was like, do you know why people know royalty? This is the same phone conversation we had last night. I said, do you know why people know royalty? And he said, why is that? I said, just because of how we fuck with each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's family shit.
That's it. Just because of our love for one another. And that's important to me. Like, you know what I mean? That's scripture. That's biblical. The Bible says they will know you by your love for one another. That's a scripture. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and
Y'all kind of go by that.
That's what people know us for. Like, it's niggas in royalty who do not have a musical fingernail in their body. They do not do anything musical. They will not rap for you if you paid them. They would not get in the studio and try to press the keyboard if you paid them. They say, no, my dog will do it though. My dog be rapping. That's not who I am as a person. I contribute in a different way. But they're royalty through and through, tattoos on their body. And
they look the par.
And that's important to us is that, you know, it's just our love for one another, bro. Like, it's that people fuck with royalty because of how they know we fuck with each other. Like, it's nothing deeper than that. Like, we fuck with each other tough, and people are like, hey, those are those guys who really love each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I don't know how to view that, but I get it.
Like, that's just a funny way of breaking it down, but that's all it is. This is all predicated upon us just being friends.
Yeah.
This is all predicated upon us naming our friend group.
Yeah.
Like,
that's really what it is.
You know what I mean? It's not a record label. I'm the only nigga that raps in royalty.
Yeah.
Granted, there are producers in royalty, but they not signed to me. Like, I don't make no money off the beats they be selling. And shit.
They just do their own thing.
Exactly. If they want me to make a producer tag, I'll make a producer tag for them. And they don't have to only send me beats. They send Jay beats. They send other niggas beats. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like it's bigger than just me. Like, it's like I said, it's the, you know, like Juice said, it's the crown. Like, it's in and everybody's bought in. Like, everybody who's around us is bought into that and you know, reaps the benefits of that. Like, everybody who's in royalty is known for whatever they're known for and being in royalty. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody's the man in their own world. You know what I mean? It's like not like none of these niggas are just background men or all these niggas all get their own bitches. Like, they all, you know what I mean? Like, they get their own money. Like, I don't pay none of these niggas nothing. Like, to be my friends, this is not love don't cost a thing. Like, I don't pay nobody nothing to be like the homie. Nothing like that. Like, this is all,
paying people to be friends is wild.
It happens in this industry.
People do
in this shit, it happens a lot more than you think. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we don't do nothing like that. We're known by our love for one another. Like I said, it's biblical. So I think that's the difference between us and like you said, some of those other camps. And not to shit on those camps, them niggas just don't love each other. Like, you know what I mean? They be with each other for
we just doing work, and then it's like that's it. We move on.
That's it. Nigga, we be eating this nigga. My kids, all my brothers is my kids' uncles. Like, my kids know them by name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that is what it is. Like, you know, my niggas' kids is my nephews and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my nieces. Like, that is what it is. Like, we're a family. Like, my mama know every nigga in royalty as son.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like my mama see Juice and be like, oh, who's your friend?
Yeah.
Like, that's the funniest shit in the world. Like, my mama grab him and you say, what's up, son? Like, you know what I mean?
Like,
my
what's
dad.
up, Mom?
Yeah, exactly. And his mom
dope.
and dad the same. Everybody in royalty's parents are the same way. You know, I tell these niggas all the time, y'all niggas, like, you know, if anything happens to me, my parents gonna call y'all niggas first. And if anything happens to y'all niggas' parents gonna call us first. And we grown ass men.
And hopefully that don't happen.
No, I'm just saying, but that's how locked in we are.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like, that's just how locked in we've always been since kids. We're grown ass men, and niggas is like, you know, if anything were to happen to you, like, you know, some of my niggas don't text their parents back, then their parents talk to me. You talk to your nigga yet? And I'd be like, yes, he's good.
Yeah, he's fine.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that happens. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, that's royalty, bro. Like, that's, you know, that's why this album is important. That's why our message is important. That's why we, as a conglomerate, like as a collective, are important, because it's different, bro. It's just love. It's love. Bigger than music is love.
And that's super dope. And I mean, yeah, I guess that's the thing that probably most camps lack too. You know, I'm big on family shit. So like for you guys, the way you're describing it, it just seems like a whole like group of, it's just family. You know, overall, at the end of the day,
big barbecues and we do gift exchanges on Christmas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
the whole thing.
Cats ain't doing that like that. You know, and Nemo can attest to that. Where, you know, most of my time is spent with family, my kids and shit like that. Too, and you know, not only that, but like, I have a big respect for like fathers. You know, there's always been that stereotype that like, you know, the fathers ain't really there, you know, for their kiddos like that. And I was like, yo, almost everybody I know, damn near everybody actually, is big on like their fatherhood shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but that's the company I like to keep. You know, I think even if we don't see each other every day, you know, maybe I see you once a month, every other month. Shit, Deshaun, I haven't seen him in like maybe over half a year, maybe to a year. And it's like, but I know what he's doing. Like he's a father at the end of the day. You know, he's always on some fatherhood shit, and I always respected that the most over the music, over everything.
We link up with the kids, Jay and I. Like we had the kids have a little playtime and shit. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you know, Jay's son is my nephew, and he called me uncle. Like you know what I mean? My kids call when I'm on FaceTime with Jay. My kids know Jay's voice. Like they'll say they won't even see the phone, and they'll say, "Hey, Uncle Jay." Like you're just walking.
Yeah,
past,
they know.
You know what I mean? They just like, "Oh yeah, Dad's on the phone with Uncle Jay." You know, same with him. Like you know what I mean? Like they know his voice. They know Juice's voice. They say, "Hey, Uncle Juice," and then,
it's my favorite thing in the world.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
it's a good feeling too, man, because you know, like the kids recognize you, they have the love for you, and you know, like I said, you know, there's a lot of times where you know you go to, you know, maybe you do get invited to the barbecue, but none of the kids know you, and you know this
that
and that.
should be weird,
And then, but when they do, it's like, yo, what's up, little man? Like it kind of gives you more comfort, you know, at the party. You know that you might not be known by anybody, but when they start knowing you, the kiddos, that shit matter.
Exactly. And even on the topic of just kind of the theme here, right? Like crown royalty. It's like this is the next generation. You know, these are the heirs to the throne.
Yeah,
to
for
then
sure.
take the crown. So it does take a village, and if you have a team of people that, like I said, it's beyond the music. Deshaun says all the time, like we live this, right? Like
You're a Game of Thrones fan.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
Never seen.
You saying some shit though.
Oh man,
that's how we talk, bro. I told you the royalty shit is not a.
We don't take
it's
a
not
day
a
off.
gimmick.
Yeah.
We really speak like kings.
I feel like the royalties, like that's y'all's banner. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna have to go watch
That's
Game of
house.
Thrones now.
That's house royalty right there. Yeah.
House of royalty.
Yeah. That might be the name of the pod.
Yeah. Oh my.
You know what I'm saying?
Podcast episode.
Hey,
We gotta
House
get
of
all of
royalty.
us in some Game of Thrones gear. We gotta get them.
I'm at to show you a
thumbnail?
picture later.
Oh my goodness.
We had a Game of Thrones party recently.
Oh word.
Wow, that sounds like
Bro.
craziness. That sounds epic.
It was
Sounds
wild.
like the
Do I wanna
200th
know?
episode.
It was dope, man. We was all dressed, bro. It was dope, man.
Yeah.
We still got a Game of Thrones. We got the throne at my crib, a whole chair.
God.
Y'all was not playing. Okay.
Yeah, that's insane.
I didn't really contribute like that. I just got my outfit.
Okay.
People who was involved,
They turned
contributed. My whole house was transformed into like Game of Thrones.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
we had
dope.
banners hanging from the ceiling, stone walls, everything.
Next
Okay.
time you do something like that.
I was gonna say
It might have to
we can
happen
have a
again.
House of Royalty function.
Hey, House of the Dragons coming back, right?
We'll be
It might be time. Hey, but
fire,
we gotta wait till the fall season when it's cooler though, because doing that shit in the
Nobody wanna
summer.
wear all that armor in there.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Pass out
We gotta
with
wait till a
armor
freeze.
on.
Yeah,
down there.
that's crazy.
I'm gonna just print shirts with armor, like
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you have access to the print, so
Yeah,
you know
right,
it can be done.
exactly.
But it's dope. It just reminded me because the way y'all are, you know, some of the terminologies y'all using, I was like, man, this just sounds real Game of Thrones right now. Yeah, man.
Blood of my blood, koi, blood
Yo.
of my blood.
If you had to be one of the families, like one of the houses from the show, who could you see yourself being? Like your whole team, really.
This is the worst part about all this is like, you know, you could say Jon Snow and, you know, you want to be Snow when he was on the ice
Starks.
wall. Yeah, but so I'm gonna say the Starks, but I'm not, and I don't mean because of Snow. I mean because of their daddy. Granted, he got off real fast. Like you only got to see
Yo.
how dope he was for maybe 30, 40 minutes. And then he was gone. Granted, he set a precedence that lived on through that bloodline until they won. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
To the end, yeah.
Till the end. Like his daughter was a stone cold killer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she cut her hair off. If you ain't seen it, I'm not about to spoil it and shit.
Nah,
but
fuck 'em.
it's good. It's been 10 years. Fuck 'em. It's been 10 years.
He said
Fuck
they've
'em.
had long enough.
I guess so. Okay. Well,
Yo, that show
like I
been
said,
done air
that
since,
show
like,
been
you know.
done. Look, Juice said he gonna watch, and I ain't gonna spoil it for my manager. He gonna be mad at me.
I'm gonna tap in so I can, understand these references.
the
Yeah, yeah,
references.
yeah.
They're very
Sure.
important. And just in culture in general, and not to get off Game of Thrones, but for me, right, like the only reason that I even watch that shit is because my dad told me one time, he's like, dude, you're too smart not to like pay attention.
Yeah.
He told me that when I was real young. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, you got to pay more attention
To
and I'm like,
things.
to what? And he's like, everything. Like you need to be able to talk about everything. Like you need to pay attention. And
Don't be
I'm like,
isolated to just one thing, really.
right. You know, I really love basketball. I love music. My kids, my family.
But you might have just been
know what I'm
isolated to
saying?
that.
Like-
He probably wanted you to branch out.
Exactly. So when Game of Thrones was coming out, every time I seen him, he said, you watch Game of Thrones yet? I said, no. He said, so how are you going to talk to the people? Like, you're going to run into somebody who's going to ask you about Game of Thrones. How are you going to talk to somebody about Game of Thrones if you've never seen Game of Thrones? Read the book. If you don't want to watch the show, read the book. I said, I'll watch the show. I'm not going to read 1,000-page book about Game of Thrones. So, I watched the show, and then, like I said, now we're here at Cheap Suits Podcast, and you asked me, which house of Game of Thrones would you know what I'm saying? So
and now you can answer.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, the Starks, because, they have that, that just longevity of royalty. Like, they, even when they were, banished and
they were at a down point.
They were at the bottom of the food chain. They did not stop.
Yeah.
Like, they did not stop. And Jon Snow is a product of that. Like, he's a product of their, everybody loves Jon Snow, but they forget that Jon Snow is, baby Stark. Like, he's, you know what I mean? He got adopted into that family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it wasn't for, Daddy Stark or whatever his name is, like Big Boy Stark, like Eden.
Ned Stark.
Ned, that's my nigga, man. Ned, if it wasn't for Ned.
Bro, it was tragic when he got murked.
Boy, I'm talking about that shit.
That was crazy.
What the fuck am I watching?
This is what,
why'd y'all put me on to this?
Look, if you're really gonna tune in, this is a show where they don't care what you want.
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
They doing what they want to do.
Oh, they're having fun in the meeting rooms.
And you're gonna watch and you're gonna accept it.
Oh, okay.
That's what's happening in this show.
You gonna scream, you gonna yell, you gonna stomp your feet.
I'm gonna be emotionally invested.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna love Khaleesi.
Yeah,
these things are gonna happen.
Shows have,
Okay, I have seen what Khaleesi looked like, so I think I'm gonna love her too.
yeah.
Queen of the Dragons.
Hey, I always say, we were talking and I was like, man, they actually, people don't talk enough about how many beautiful women they incorporated in that show. Because everybody just thinks Khaleesi and and that's it. It's like, nah, they
casted the fuck out of that
The
show.
girls at the brothels, they was popping.
And they made them all look like they picked girls that looked like they lived in that era.
Yes.
Some women have a more newer beauty, like a 21st century beauty.
You can tell they're from today.
Yeah, exactly. They picked women that would have fit in during that, like, you know what I mean? And men, like the men that had like, facial structures of like, royal men and shit like that from back then. So I just think that it's a genius show overall. I know that I don't really love when shows like go away from the OC, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't love, like, from the original content, like, from the book. Like, there was a book, and the nigga wasn't finished. Like, it was the next chapter, and them niggas was like, we getting too much spanky over here. Like, we getting too much money. We're gonna keep making the show.
Yeah.
So that's why the last season is kind of what's the word? Like, it's controversy. It's controversy over the last season because it was no OC, like, it was no book and shit. They was in the writing room like, well, this is what we think he would do. Like, you know what I mean? And no, like, people wasn't happy with that. So,
I could see people's disappointments here and there. I was like, honestly, whatever needed to happen happened. Still, it just didn't happen in the format the way that we would have liked it. Maybe there could have been more happening.
Shows always end bad,
but I get it.
Yeah,
and
shows end bad.
Not only that, people don't want to see things go away when they like it so much.
That's true. The Sopranos ended very good, and nobody liked it. I was sitting there like, well, what? Like, it faded to black. Like, you just your own interpretation. Fuck you. Like, that's what the guy in the writing room was like, you think about what
they say here,
is.
damn.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, Sopranos ended good. I know, I'm a big Dexter fan. Everybody hated the way Dexter ended. He just ended in the woods. Like, nobody was like, what are you doing as a lumberjack? Like, you know what I mean? Nobody like that. The Wire. Like, every good show, it's very power. It was a very much so controversy about how
recently started
ends.
Power.
Like, people be like, what the hell? What was that?
With shows like you mentioned The Wire, I didn't even feel like the ending was bad. I felt like there was a season that didn't. We could have did without
the season with the docs.
Season 2.
You're wrong. You just need to pay attention.
No, it was cool. I watched it several times, but I could see where people had a distaste for it.
Yeah,
because it wasn't like
they said, "Where is Omar?"
The setting was different. Yeah, the setting was different. Yeah, and so I could see that. And to me, though, when people ask, I'm like, I could see where you could do without.
Sure.
But it was still an importance. Like, that's still something within the city that was happening, and you still needed to tap in because drug shit was happening there.
Cycle, right?
Yeah.
Those dudes on the docks were taking that shit back to the streets.
Yes.
Like, working with the, essentially the black people in the streets. Like, what were they, Irish at the docks? I think it was the Irish.
The Irish were the ones who were, like, in charge. Yeah.
So it's like, that you haven't seen The Wire.
No.
Have you?
Nah, not
was
yet.
it Irish? No. Okay, I get confused because I know they had the dude named the Greek.
Yes, but they were Irish.
But he wasn't even Greek.
He wasn't even Greek.
He's like, I think I'm Greek, but I'm fucking not.
No, he wasn't Greek.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Irish were running the docks and shit like that, and you know what I mean, making things happen. But they were taking shit back to Marlo, and you know what I mean. Like it was a lot going on.
Yeah,
like, you know
towards
what I mean?
towards
like,
the end,
you know what I'm
especially.
saying? Like you needed that whole thing to make the water cycle of what it is. Like you know what I mean. Like so.
Did you ever wonder about Marlo? Like at the end, where he was like they was bringing him into like the corporate world, and then it was just like he's like, nah, fuck this, I'm in the streets.
Nah, that's the way it go when you know real street niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen that story time and time again with street niggas. Like, they get opportunity to do some other shit. Like, you know what I mean? And
They just can't let go.
I love the game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love the hustle.
I love the hustle.
Yo, that's one of my favorite clips ever.
Yeah, that's a great clip.
I love the hustle.
But they still love me. Yeah, I mean, like that's the way street niggas feel about it. So it's like, of course they go back to their own devices. Like you know, what I mean? Like,
I kind of did want to see like how he would have evolved in that world. You know, sometimes you're curious to see like if people could branch out of their norm. And I was like, man, I really kind of wanted to see like I wouldn't even be mad at a season if he tried it.
Sure.
You know, and then maybe like somehow the streets were sucking him back into it.
That'd be too
know?
unrealistic, Star.
Probably, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? The people
I just get these curiosities of things that would never happen.
Yeah, the people who live that shit would be like, he wouldn't have did that shit. He would have been right back
exactly.
in the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but it's just my curiosity, though. I'm just like, man, I really want to see if it would go somewhere, you know? Or like, would he be like, you know, where he was climbing to the top to be that top dude in the streets? I was like, what if he became like top dude for a corp? You know what I'm saying? Where he started running the show. That's kind of what I would wonder if he could incorporate his skill set in the streets over here.
Stringer tried. You know, Stringer
tried. We got
college classes and shit like that. Like,
I kind of feel bad for him. Shout out to my boy Idris.
Yeah. You can't feel bad for a nigga like Idris.
I know, he's doing some fuck shit.
Yeah, he was wilding.
He
was wilding, trying to go behind Marlo back and shit. Like he was wilding, but you know, like
he was smashing dude's girl too.
Yeah, he was wilding.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He said, "You jump from over there up there." This some Spider-Man shit. That's what he said when he seen a nigga jump down. The Wire is great, bro. If niggas ain't seen The Wire, they gotta see.
I just had to binge watch it because you know if I don't see things for a long time, I gotta come back.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so I did that with GOT. I did that with The Wire recently. And I'll just sit there, I'll binge it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm like that with Dexter. Every once in a while, I'll just start Dexter again. That's my favorite show of all time.
I'm waiting for the season to finish with True Detective too.
Oh, shit. Yeah, me too. So
I heard this one's crazy.
Yeah, they set the bar really high, though. True Detectives are awesome. Like, those shits they're really, really good. Have you seen any of those?
I have not.
Yeah, those shit's good.
I'm a rewatch.
Oh, man, we got to.
Yeah,
we got to mold him.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I'm a rewatch.
There's a lot going on out here in these bandwidth streets. That's really what's going on. But, you know, aside from all that TV talk, though, I know you like basketball.
Love.
What you think about the season?
It looks great. Basketball is amazing right now.
All-Star game is around the corner. Does anybody care like they used to?
Yes, I want to see Steph and Sabrina do the WNBA versus NBA.
Yo, that girl can shoot.
She can shoot the lights out. So I'm excited to see Steph brick it up because Steph misses a lot when, like at the 3-point contest and stuff. Steph always like bricks it up, and I don't know if he does that on purpose. Like I don't know if he like, you know what I mean?
I think
like,
it's different from in game.
It probably is.
Yeah,
it probably is. Yeah,
you know, because in game you're running, your body's warm. You know, you're already like kind of feeling everything. And your adrenaline's up.
Hell yeah.
In a 3-point shootout, you kind of just standing there waiting for the timer to hit. Yeah. So I can see where there's a difference. But that girl, she ain't playing.
She's not, and she said she want to shoot from the NBA 3.
As like a bonus or just period?
She said fuck the WNBA line. Because they said she's supposed to shoot WNBA with WNBA ball.
Oh, because it's
and Steph's supposed to shoot NBA with an NBA ball. She said, WNBA, no, I want to shoot NBA line.
Let's go.
So
I respect it.
She just put it on Twitter too. Like she just tweeted.
I didn't see that,
from the
but
NBA line.
If she said that, I respect it.
I respect it.
No,
that shit is crazy.
I think she has potential to win, though.
She's gonna win.
Yeah,
and I'm the biggest Steph Curry fan in the room, but she's gonna win.
Are you a Warriors fan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
How you feel about them right now? Or Clay specifically?
Clay specifically. He better not get that fucking money. Like he better not get that max. That's all I know. They better give his ass the max vet minimum. Like they better give his ass the max minimum.
I do feel bad for him though. Like I really do because I know he had those tragic injuries.
I do too. I feel bad, but
it is what it is.
Just Jonathan Kuminga time. That nigga Kuminga is going on a tirade. Like the past 10 games, this nigga's averaged 26.8 points. Like this nigga's like he's dunking on everybody from everywhere. LeBron shouted this nigga out when we played y'all the other day. When we played Lakers the other day, this nigga talking about
I was like, who's y'all?
Well, you got on the Lakers hat.
Hey,
this nigga,
shout out to Kobe. That's why I got the 8 on it.
Okay, well, salute. The nigga said, playing against players like Steph keeps me young. Playing against players like Jonathan Kuminga keeps me young. That nigga Kuminga not even 21 years old.
Damn.
I know that had him turned up. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, LeBron was like, that nigga there, keep an eye on him. You know what I mean? And he been my favorite player since he can, like, one of my, like, Jordan Poole. I was a big Jordan Poole fan. But then.
So we know what happened with that. That was tragic.
But, you know, it's
like,
rough.
hey, you just one KO away from just ruining somebody's career.
This nigga, Jordan
real.
Poole has the worst plus minus in NBA history this year.
That's crazy.
Like, since they've recorded plus minus, this nigga has
He's top of the charts.
top of the bottom of the
statistic.
charts. Yeah. And
To be the top of the
and
bottom,
he was
that's
just
wild.
a man.
Crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
and he was just a man over here in Golden State. Like, he
Yeah.
was just a man, like, when he was backing up for Steph then. But,
I always say that, like, you know, a player, like, let's say a player fits in well with their squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's when they get rid of them, either they flourish or they go downhill.
it's like Golden State.
And
knew
Poole
he
is
was
one of
going
those
down.
few that just
Yeah,
he went the
downhill,
opposite way.
bro.
That was crazy.
That was insane. It's insane. Like, I expected the James Harden Houston shit. Like, when James Harden left OKC and he started turning up.
Yeah.
That's what I expected JP to do.
That's what happens with some people, you know, and it didn't happen for Poole.
That pool is dry.
Yeah.
That pool is dry.
He don't ever take a day off.
Yeah,
He doesn't ever take a day off rapping.
I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Don't. You shouldn't. Yeah, no, I like I said, I feel bad for him, but you know, some of these young guns, man, and it's hard to keep up because I feel like there's a lot of good players out here. You know, and so you know, it's kind of hit or miss. You never know. One team is hot right now, then you have an Embiid situation where you don't know if that's the end of the season.
He's so trash, man. He get his ass out of here. This nigga can't
Why you
play.
put numbers though?
He can't play a full season if he only put up numbers for half the season. Since they changed that rule too, I love that rule. You play your ass 65 games or whatever
be
it is,
qualified.
for anything, and all these niggas whining.
Yeah.
Like maybe they change it to 60 next year, but whatever. It needs to be high for niggas
I mean,
like that.
that's what I used to say about AD all the time.
Get his ass
Yeah,
out of
he was like,
here.
he don't
What do they
finish
call
the
him?
season.
Street clothes. Get that nigga
Yo,
street clothes out of here,
It's
man.
crazy.
That is wild. Yeah, man. So I think, I mean, who do you have early playoff predictions?
Hell no, shit. It's so tight in the West.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's hard now. Everybody's
like,
good.
You know, granted, I'm not worried about my team. I'm a big basketball fan, so it's like if I turn on TV and the Pacers are good now. So I don't know if the Wizards are playing like them niggas are shit. If they're playing Detroit, I will still watch the game. Like let's see what Killian Hayes got. Like you know what I mean? Like that's just I like basketball, nigga. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm just that kind of guy. It's not very many things I'm passionate about in life. Music and basketball. Or like I was never good. I was never good at basketball like that. Like never ever will you hear anybody say, yeah, that nigga Deshaun's a hooper. Like nigga never. But you know what he was? A nigga who loved hoop. Like you know what I mean? Who was standing on the side of the court. Yeah, I love the game.
Yeah, love the game.
Love the hustle.
We might have to change the title of this podcast.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, love the game.
Thumbnail about to go crazy.
Yeah, about to. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying, bro. Like that shit is just, you know, I love basketball. So it's like I watch everybody. So it's like I really, really don't know. I think that man, I don't know. I thought the Pacers was good until Steph bust their ass last night. Jesus Christ. Like,
Pause.
10 threes or something like that, 11 threes. This nigga, he's acting bad. He was 7 of 7 in the first half from 3. Like,
damn.
He was really on some, like, Halliburton must have been talking shit. Didn't Halliburton score like 5 points?
Word.
That's it.
Yo,
Like,
Steph is just different, though, man.
He different, fool. So I don't know who's gonna win this year. I don't care because my Warriors aren't really like, you know, doing very good. But I know y'all aren't good. Like the Lakers aren't going to win. So that's all that matters to me. Like as long as like the Lakers don't, you know.
As long as they don't win.
Yeah. You know, I want to see LaMelo leave Charlotte. I want to see LaMelo go to San Antonio. I want to see LaMelo.
That would be
come to San
interesting.
Antonio. I think him and Wemby would be like, you know, the Shaq and Penny shit. Like, I think it would be the craziest situation that we had ever seen.
I know there was like those rumored talks or like at least people trying to put the scenario of Trae Young being there as well. But you see more LaMelo.
Yeah, I see more LaMelo because I don't think Pop gonna let Trae Young shoot from half court. Like Pop, we want Pop to live another 20 years. Like this nigga gonna have a stroke on the court.
Fucking heart attack.
Trae Young gets the ball with 22 seconds and then just pulls that bitch up.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know if he's gonna fit through that system. And I think LaMelo's gameplay and gameplay style is a little bit more, suited for Pop.
Yeah,
From what
maybe more suited for Wemby too.
Maybe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Them niggas they do not be passing the ball to Wemby, bro. That shit is crazy. The nigga's so big and tall and shit. You just
damn near
throw the
halfway
ball
to the rim.
right to the rim, and he could just put his hand on the shit. Like they don't.
The fact that he plays under 30 minutes. And
I don't care.
his limit is what, like 25, 26 minutes?
Yeah, I don't care. Steph's limited.
No, but imagine playing full game and his numbers are already high.
Nasty. There's so many years where Steph and Clay, them niggas, Draymond, them niggas didn't play fourth quarters.
Yeah.
Because of what the Warriors was doing to niggas during third quarters. So it's like Steph be averaging like 30 minutes a game, 32 minutes a game. The nigga don't, the biggest.
He still got like 30.
The biggest gripe with the Warriors fans is the way that Steph plays like those quick 6-minute rotations. Steph played for 6 minutes and Steve Kerr sit his ass right down. Like, because he's 34 years or 35 years old. Nigga old. Like, he's not old, but he's old
you don't even think about that because he still look like he has that
like
baby face.
Yeah, he's old for basketball. You know what I mean? He's because 35 is not old at all. Like as far as I'm concerned, but he's to be running up and down the court with niggas that's younger than us.
Yeah,
we know little niggas that's younger than us in the league. Yeah, like niggas who was in high school and we just graduated that are in the league now. That shit is the weirdest shit in the world to me. That make me sit on the couch feel old than a mug. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when this little nigga was in high school. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that should be weird. Like you know what I'm saying? But and Steph is out there still. Tearing their ass
balling.
up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Turning around, shooting 40 footers. You know what I mean? Like just
this is the best shooter I ever seen. I'll forever say that.
We all have ever seen. Nobody done this shit, but this nigga
you gotta hate him to be like, no, he's not. Like, to try to argue that.
Shoot that bitch, look at you.
And turn around.
Running. And the ball still, I love when I see the picture where they circle the ball when Steph turn around.
And he already took like 5 steps back.
Already on half.
He's on defense.
Like with his arms out. Like, that shit is so fire. Imagine how demoralizing that is.
Oh.
You guarding that nigga.
That's got to shut down your whole fucking.
He starts shaking and baking and you like, I'm with you, Steph. I'm with
You're
then
not.
He turns around. Like he shoot that bitch and he turn and your hand is up.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
And he's all the way back there. Then you turn around and that hoe is.
Remember when Poole tried to do that?
Oh man! Remember when Nick Young tried to do that? We old enough to have seen the Nick Young one.
That looked
nigga
worse.
Nick Young put his
that looked worse. That man celebrated.
Yeah. Exactly.
That was his second famous meme. That meme, he got some memes, boy. Nick Young is that guy. That shit is funny. Yeah. And we're going to forever remember him. Like, he didn't have an illustrious NBA career.
No.
We're going to forever remember him for his blunders. Like, for that shit where him and, was it Carlos Boozer? Where Kobe's doing the interview and they're, like, doing the dances and shit. Like,
yeah.
Kobe's just like.
Yeah, he's like, man, fuck these guys.
And Jimmy Kimmel was like, let me show you your teammates. Like, at the, you know what I mean? Like, y'all had finally got a road win. And, and then Kobe. Like, that's exactly why I remember Nick Young.
This is and shout out to Kobe and the family and the new statues that they just presented the other day. But that's one of the things I love is going back, especially when they replay it, like years later. And I'm just like, man, see, this is why Kobe was that guy, bro. Like
that guy.
He's
Mama
like,
mentality.
you could tell, like he was just all he cared about was the winning, and whoever wants to win can come with me.
That's it.
Right.
If y'all ain't about this life, then fuck all y'all.
Bro,
that's really what it seemed like.
When he came in the locker room and started taking the Kobe's out of their lockers and shit, and he said, y'all niggas Charmin soft, y'all beeps don't get to wear my shoes no more. This nigga took his shoes from them niggas. Like I thought that he different. Like and then like Jordan Clarkson, shout out Jordan Clarkson, Converse legend. Jordan Clarkson tells a story where Kobe came into practice and he had been injured all that time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I want the work. Whoever's down, I want the worst 3 or whatever on my team. Y'all play with y'all 5 or whatever. Yeah. He said, and then he just busted they ass for hours and hours, and he kept making them run again. And he said, "This what the fuck y'all been doing when I've been injured? Like this what y'all been doing while I've been gone." I'm gonna get all y'all traded by deadline. Like, just like
demoralizing.
Kobe was lethal, man.
Yeah, for real. So I got that Mamba mentality shit tattooed on me, nigga. Like that shit is like it's real for me. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's almost like the same story when who was that one cat from the Bulls who was talking shit and Jordan was already retired and then showed up to the gym. They talked about in the doc.
He was a rookie.
Yeah, he was a rookie. Yeah, he's a rookie talking about he'll whoop Jordan's ass one-on-one. And Jordan actually showed up to the practice.
I cannot think of who you're talking about.
And said like, all right, let's run it.
Yeah.
And just beat that ass.
Yeah, shit like what Kobe did to Kyrie.
Yeah.
Kobe did that same shit to Kyrie. Kyrie's talking all that shit. You know, oh, Kobe, you old man, I'm not in high school no more. I bust your ass. And I don't think Kyrie scored. Like it was like 1-10 or something like that, 1-15 or something. Kobe busted his ass.
My goodness.
That's
like,
crazy.
And he made him bet $100,000 or something like that. But you know, Kobe's that guy, bro. Kobe, mama mentality.
Yeah,
Kobe's
man.
that guy, bro.
Yeah, R.I.P. man, for sure, man.
For sure, we lost a good one, bro.
That's one thing, man. I don't care to really go to L.A. anymore, just because, like, you know, I talked on the last pod about the scene out there. You know, it's just not what it was. But like, that's one thing I want to go check out is the new
statue.
statues. Yeah. You know, just to see them because I've seen all the other ones there, and I was like, not to see the new ones there. And they got 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I definitely got to go.
That
like,
shit,
you know,
I'm
check
gonna
it
be
out.
balling, nigga. Like I said, like I got the Mamba mentality, Mamba Academy shit tattooed on me after he died. Like that's it was a cataclysmic day in my whole family. Like you know what I mean? Like my dad's a pastor. He got off the stage and my little brother ran into his office and was like, Kobe died. Like you know what I mean? Like nigga, shit was canceled. Like dinners was canceled. Like niggas called me like fuck my day up. Like I ain't do nothing. Like you niggas just sat in the crib all day on some weird shit watching highlights. Like. Working on my like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was 2 days after my son was born.
Oh,
or
that's
3
crazy.
days after my son was born. My son was born on January 23rd. Yeah. Happy birthday, though. Yeah, like I said, it was 3 days after my son was born. So my son was born January 23rd. It was the 26th. I was sitting there holding my son like, well, I'm thankful for you, bro, but Kobe just died, gang. Like, you know, I love to see gang. Like, I know we only been knowing each other 3 days, but I've been knowing Kobe since 96, gang. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I had just had my son, fool, so I was fucked up. Like,
I don't think people think about the conversations they have when their kids only 2 days old. Like, yo, bro, I love you so much, and we known each other like 48 hours.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Nigga,
That's only my
I love you more
third
than
day out here.
anybody.
Yeah,
I slide
crazy.
for you. You know, you don't know it yet, but I do all kind of treacherous acts for you, and I only known you a couple hours.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Those are the only people that you would do crime for
After knowing
immediately.
a couple hours. You're right. You're right. You're so right.
Probably immediately after birth.
Immediately after
like the
birth,
way you
your
put that.
whole mind changes. You like, you know what? If somebody fuck with you,
Yeah, it's a problem.
I'm gonna lose my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as you can see the baby, you like, oh yeah, I'll fuck somebody up about you.
Yeah.
And it's like,
For
why do
sure.
I feel that way? Like I'm not nobody gonna fuck with this baby.
I think it's
But you know what I'm saying? Like you just all
it's
of
a
a sudden
natural-
it's a
natural
dad
instinct,
thing, bro.
yeah.
It's a dad instinct. All of a sudden you say, I'm your protector. Like you know what I mean? And you like, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you, little man. Like you know what I'm saying? And I got a daughter too, so it's
That's even worse. Yeah.
I take that shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I be, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't gotta get into it.
Yeah,
Niggas with
I'm
the
glad I got
daughters,
boys.
y'all
That's
know.
all I gotta say.
Niggas with daughters, y'all know that shit make your brain like you. You know what I mean? Like, nobody fuck with your daughter, nigga.
Whole
Like,
clip.
Yeah.
Whole clip.
Both. I'll reload the bitch.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm going to jail for sure.
Just throw the drum on.
I'm going to jail for sure.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
fuck with my daughter.
That's the one excuse I always had because I mean before I had my second boy, everybody was like, "Oh man, you ever going to have a girl?" I was like, first of all, I don't choose. You know, that's really the
You just be
luck of the
grateful for a
draw.
healthy baby.
Yeah, and I was like, but honestly, if it was like by choice, I was like, don't give me a girl. I was like, I'm probably going to jail at some point in life for something that's gonna go wrong. And I was like, and I'm probably taking somebody out. Is what's happening. You know, and
You somebody's. Yeah.
you know, that's just how I think. I'm like, yo, it's different. Like when you got your boys, it's you do treat them differently.
You parent
in a sense.
different. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you parent differently, and I already got a soft spot for my kiddos, my two boys.
yeah.
I could only imagine what would happen if I had a little girl.
Fuck a soft spot. You are the soft spot. Nigga, you just soft. Like when it comes to your daughter and shit. And what's funny is this nigga get that way too. Look, he'll be getting on baby Jay's ass, right? He be getting on his son's ass, and then my daughter will get in the camera and he say, oh, hey, uncle's baby. Hey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, get back on that tough guy shit. Be that tough guy with her too.
Yeah,
like, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, but everybody see my daughter and they're like, oh, little baby. And I'm like, no. Do the tough guy shit with her too.
Nah.
We need to make
Keep the
sure
same
she
energy.
tough.
Yeah.
She tough as her brother is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like I said, that shit with a daughter different. Because shit, I would say like shit, and they mama would probably say too. I'm way harder on my daughter than I'm on my son. Like my son do some shit, and I'd be like, man, cut it out, nigga.
Yeah, like come on, man.
Come on, bro. Like, do better.
Yeah, relax,
My daughter
bro.
do some shit, and I'm like, well, you're letting me down. Like you're supposed to be the one. Like
You're supposed to hold it down for the family. Like,
you are the one.
Yeah.
You gotta be good. And she's, she break it down. Like, you know what I'm saying? My daughter break down when I just open my eyes wide.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a girl, bro. So like I said, it's
way different.
That's way. Like I said, it's not fair. And shit, I had my mind up like you. I thought I was gonna have 2 boys too. Excuse me. Like I had my mind made up, and shit. Then like you said, you don't get to pick, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then they said we was gonna have a daughter, and I was like, fuck. The way I thought I was about to parent for the next 20, 21 years. I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I
That
gotta
shit's gonna change.
that shit. Yeah, I gotta be, a little bit more accommodating, like a little bit more understanding, a little bit more loving. Because with my son, I'm like, hey man, cut that crying out. Shut up, man. Get out of here, dog. Like, get out of here.
toughing
Fix
him
your
up.
face, dog.
Yeah.
Fix your face, dog. I don't want to see that, dog. I don't want you gonna cry. Go to your mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Fix your face is one of the.
Fix your face.
That's one of the biggest things to say to a boy.
I hate that I got that. I hate that I adopted that from my parents.
Nah,
Like,
you ain't the only
wish,
one.
Yeah, I know. I wish that one stayed, right? Or I don't say that I'm gonna give you something to cry about. Like, I don't say that one. That's the one that used to be,
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie.
Jay over there having flashbacks.
Hey, I'll be real. I used that before, and I was like, I don't even feel right saying this.
Yeah.
Hey,
You're
my
like,
fault. You
damn.
hugged your son.
Yo,
That's when you fuck up when you go hug your son.
when you say I
get a
give you
little
something to
mean
cry
him,
about,
you gotta hug that nigga. I'm sorry, little nigga.
hey, like, yo, look, I was out of line.
I was out of line.
I was out of line.
I
yo.
never want you to cry.
Yo,
Like,
look, I'm
when
just-
you cry, I cry.
I'm just trying to help you. That's
Right.
it. At the end of the day.
Matter of fact, let me play you this Prince song. Like, you ever heard, you ever heard when doves cry?
put 'em on?
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, please don't cry no more, son.
That's crazy too. Is one of the biggest things that we had mad conversations about this. So I've definitely expressed this many of times. But like the music that we introduce to our kids to, and like I think a lot of people don't always take you back to like the roots and shit like that. So, and I feel like my kids they listen to so much of like the old school music. That they're not even all the way. They're not feeling the new age music of today.
Sure.
So that's kind of tough because I still like to incorporate a lot of hip hop. When I'm in the mood for it, right? But I got them so old school, I guess you could say. They ain't with it like that.
I mean, it'll take time, bro. Like, when I used to tell people all the time, my mom had 3 CDs when I was growing up. She had Diary of Alicia Keys. She had Byron Cage and Pajam, the Byron Cage and J Moss collaboration, the gospel album. And then look at Nemo. Your mama had that one too, huh? Yeah, salute, gang. He had the Prince of Praise, Byron Cage. Yeah, my mama had that shit. She had Diary of Alicia Keys. She had Prince of Praise, Byron Cage with J Moss Pajam. And then she had what is this, like Full Moon Brandy. Like, and then it was a Kiara Sheard album. She had 4 albums. It was some Kiara Sheard J Moss album. Bruh, that was it. Like, it was 2 gospel CDs and then an R&B CD or whatever.
Those were the playlists.
That's it. Like, when we was with my dad, he was playing Drew Hill, like he's playing Thong Song, like he was playing Biggie. He was turning us up. He was playing 112, like he was like, this real music, little niggas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll put y'all on. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom, she wasn't going for none of that shit. Y'all gonna listen to this Alicia Keys, y'all gonna listen to this gospel, and y'all gonna listen to this Brandy. That's it. That's what y'all little boys get in the car. Don't ask me for no radio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gonna get this worship session on the way to the 2nd grade. And y'all gonna sit back and
y'all are gonna be children of God.
So, like I said, and then you still get a nigga like me who, like I said, I had my daddy playing the Biggie and shit, and I still gravitated towards that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kanye was my favorite rapper growing up. You know what I'm saying? So, up until the point, right? Like, he started to get weird.
I mean, we know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It was after. It seems like Adidas. That's the time frame where
a little bit before
we took a
that.
turn.
Just a little before that.
Well, I mean, this was like, the Adidas deal was already talked about like 2015.
Was it?
Yeah.
A little bit before that.
Yeah, well, the beginning stages.
What's that beautiful morning shit? What's that, Pablo? See, I was already off the train.
That was it then.
I was off the train. I was like, he tripping, nigga.
That was what, 2014,
I
2015?
think so. He started about
something like that.
Probably 2014.
bleaching shit and shit like that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
lost
so
me, gang.
all that the Adidas, the Pablo shit, that was all around the same time frame.
He lost me right around then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I became my favorite
We
rapper.
lost him then.
Yeah.
I was still buying the shoes, but fuck it.
Gotta stage it.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back with Nike. Them Yeezys back then was the hardest shit still out.
And there might have been too much disrespect there.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably
It's probably not
Sean
going back.
Parker and all. You right.
Yeah. But hey, them Red Octobers though was nasty.
That's what I'm talking about, man. It ain't been no shoes like it since. Like,
No.
it ain't been no shoes like that changed the world like that.
That was crazy. People
Them
was like choosing those over Jordan.
People
Fair
was
enough.
choosing them, and they you can still get a pair right now for like $5,000.
No, that's light now.
Yeah,
it's not 5,000 no more.
It's probably more.
It's like a good 9-10 racks.
God damn.
Yeah, and that's with them already worn.
That ain't dead stock.
You know, no, worn it may be like 7.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's still crazy.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. 10 for the dead stock. Yeah, man, it's wild out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the shoe market is different, man. I'm not even that in tune, but I'm glad that I have at least a decent selection to where I could rotate for months and not wear the same.
Me too.
You know,
Yeah,
so
me too.
And you big sneakerhead too, right?
No, don't say that.
Or you just buy a lot.
No, I don't buy a lot of shoes at all.
Damn, what do you do, man?
I just got a couple. I get, like you said, I got a nice rotation of pairs. Like, nah, real sneakerheads will be like, fuck him. He ain't no sneakerhead. I got sneakers from the 1990s, and Jordan put his toe in this sneaker. Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about nothing. I got a couple pair of shoes, and I wear them hoes. I ain't one of them niggas with all my shoes in boxes and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I wear my shoes, nigga.
I think there's people who just love sneakers. Sneakerheads are the ones who
take that shit
know the culture. They know what year of the model you're wearing.
I don't know
without even looking at the tag.
The manufacturer on the laces.
Like, I'm nigga, and I don't give a fuck. Like, so I just, if I see a pair of shoes coming out that I know I'm gonna like, I'm gonna hit I got a plug. Like, I do got a sneaker plug who
we might have to talk. But sure.
For sure. That's my man. Shout out DJ. That's my nigga, bro. But yeah, that's my plug, man. Somehow, some way, he got everything. Every size we need and everything. All the homies we was eating Thanksgiving dinner or something at your house. Remember this? We was at your mom's crib eating Thanksgiving dinner. This nigga had brought me the Concords, or no, what did he bring me? The cool gray 11s like that.
To the party, huh?
To Thanksgiving. You remember
was this most recent Thanksgiving?
Probably one before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we was at his mom crib, and I was like, let me step outside real quick.
That's what you was doing.
And my nigga, he dropped me off the shoes.
Bro, I done left my own parties to go cut a deal real quick.
So you might be a sneakerhead, fam.
No, I'm not.
Or me either.
No. All right. I'm gonna just stay. We can stay in the lane we was in.
Like what you say, we have a nice pair of shoes that we rotate, and it might be about a month before
we're the rotation boys. That's all. Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. That's it, man. That's super dope, though. But I think I always obviously color coordinated, try to make sure that especially stepping out,
hell yeah,
performing wise too. You got to be on point, and stand out from the rest of them. So
hell yeah.
that always makes sense. But I'm glad the Air Force Ones made the comeback it did, and
crazy as hell. These kids, what do they call them? G phase. That's so weird to me. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's like, bro.
What they calling them?
They was Coke Whites to us. Like, niggas that call them hoes G Phazos. I'm like, what is that? Where did that come from?
Yo, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I used to call them the Cocas. Yeah, so
that's when you older than like us, I guess. Like, it's something about Coke and
Air Force Ones. They just go together.
Oh man,
we just call them hoes the Coke Whites. Okay, nobody call was G-Phase.
Yo, Pablo's might be acceptable too.
Yeah, shit. I ain't never
Them Pablo joints.
That's just kind of hard.
Okay.
Hey, you hear that? That came from me.
I fuck with that.
That's my terminology.
Somebody on the South Side gonna say, I've been saying that.
No, he's lying. He's lying.
I like the way you said lying like that. Like someone from the say, he said he lying.
No, he's lying. That's the Leo in me, man. That's what that is.
Leo gang.
That's hilarious. Yeah, salute. I was like, Leo gang, salute.
Are you Leo too?
Yes, sir.
I never cared about that until people made me care about that.
My mama Leo. Leo's real as fuck.
Yeah. Now I'm ready to get my lion tattoo on me and all kinds of shit. I'm not even playing. It's for real. It's gonna happen.
Hey, that's how it go. I wasn't in the Zodiacs until a girl put me on, and I feel like that's kind of how it goes. It's usually a woman.
Man, don't get me started with that shit.
Hey man, Big Virgo gang. I was born the same day as Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Big Virgo gang.
Real statistic.
You know what I'm saying? 5 days before Beyonce was born. Real shit. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So fuck.
Hey,
with
I feel
like
that.
I said, Big Virgo gang.
I feel that. I will say I fuck with Virgos. Some of my closest friends are Virgos. Shout out to Deshaun J as well.
My nigga.
Shout out to J Boy as well. He was part of the party situation.
J Boy was there.
He was there.
Oh my god, bro!
He was shooting quartz into the ceiling.
People there.
That's what was happening.
It was so many people at that party. It's 8 mics. Me and Jay shared a mic.
8 mics. 8 mics and still had to share. That's crazy.
At the kickback.
The kickback pod. Yeah.
The kickback
pod.
Yeah, the pod back.
No, yeah. Well, I don't know how I feel about that one, but that's not a little crazy.
The pod back.
Yo, that's wild.
Pause if necessary.
Yeah, that might be a little low key pause, man. But yeah, man. No, it's I'm glad you was able to come back and do this show, man. Just to got to hear about your life and your mindset perspective, and not only that, but I think we've all I feel like we've probably all grown from 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't growing, then you ain't progressing, in my opinion. So
come on,
and last time it was just us all kicking it. This time we got management in the building, very sharp. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. I got a new scene going on here, new machineries.
Hell yeah.
So it's super dope to see that, progress happens.
Yes, bro.
At the end of the day, you want evolution for you and your crew, and that's what I see happening. Not only that, but just, getting that little kind of early listen to this album. I'm like, yo, this don't sound like the shit from back there. And not that the shit wasn't good, but you could see where this man's evolving.
The evolution.
Even I would say, to be honest, one thing I did notice on this new project that's coming out, the way the wordplay is different a little bit. It looks like I don't know if you sped up a little bit. I'm a fan of fast rap.
Sure, okay.
I feel like some of the records are a little faster than what I'm used to hearing from you.
It's Trev.
I personally like that.
It's just that Detroit speed is Trev. A lot of those, like that bop comes from Trev. Like he provides a lot of that, like the tempo he sets. Like for the December 31st this year, Trev called me with a metronome playing in the back like this.
Yeah.
And he said, "Tell me, you think you can rap on that?" And I was like, "Just the metronome?
Just that part?"
And he was like, "Nah, like that tempo. You hear that?" And I'm like, "Yes, I hear the click track, Trev." And he's like, "You want me to speed it up or slow it down?" And I'm like, "Trev, it's no fucking beat. Like, it's no beat."
This conversation happening on the phone? Because it sounds a little wild, too.
This conversation is happening on the phone. Like, and I'm looking at him on FaceTime, and he's in the dark studio with LEDs glowing all around him with just a metronome playing loud as fuck. And he's like, it's just...
Yeah.
And he's like, "A little faster, right? I think you're getting a crazy pocket if I speed it up like 5 BPMs. He sped it up a little bit, and he said, "All right, I'm going to make a beat. I'll hit you back later." And I was just like...
He just needed to see where your mind was at if you was feeling it.
What? Feeling the metronome? Like, what? Like, I was like, bro, don't call me
That's the
again
producer
like
in
that.
him.
But I fuck with that.
Yeah, that's
like
the producer in him.
That's the intentionality of him. He's like, I need to make sure that you can like freestyle real good, like in this pocket before I create this beat. Like, so before I get in this pocket, is this a good speed for you? Like, you know what I mean? Or to be able to rap for the December 31st freestyle. And I was like, I think so. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's...
We'll see when that time comes.
You know what I mean? Like, put some keys on it or something. Maybe I'll be able to tell. But so, like I said, the intentionality, bro, like that shit is just... It's great to be here, bro. Like I said, it's great that, that you're elevating, that we're elevating. We sold out the listening party, like, you know what I mean? Like, to capacity. However, we did want to invite you guys. Like, when
is this exactly?
Tonight.
Oh, you know what?
Crown listening party. It's tonight. Sold out.
Exactly.
8 o'clock?
Doors at 8.
That means I got 2 parties to attend today. I think I could make it happen.
Because we're playing the album probably around 9, and then after that we have an after party. Like we're leaving
downtown.
Right at like 10.
Okay,
let's go.
Like right at 10, we're going to Social House. Yeah, right. So y'all won't be in later than 10.
I might be in. Yeah, I'm gonna be in the area already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I plan to be in the streets today.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm saying.
So do we.
Yeah.
We have the sold out listening party from 8 to about 10, and then at 10:30 we'll be at Social House on Stone Oak Parkway for the after party celebrating Crown dropping. So
hey, by this time this party's already gonna be said and done.
This party's been happening. Yeah, it's sold out.
Y'all
couldn't have got it.
Y'all seen it.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all gonna see it. Shoot, yeah. By the time this comes out, we've been already.
We would have made history.
Recovered, made history, posted about it.
Came back to town. Probably went out of town. Came back.
We've been back on the pod. Like by the time y'all hear this,
we gonna talk about what happened, how it transpired, everything.
Y'all get the recap for sure.
Y'all get the recap, man.
That's super dope, man. Yeah, no, I would love to join you guys. I appreciate the extended invite.
Of course, bro.
I personally like to, and like I said, I've expressed a lot of these things before, but when I know people who have the talent that they have, and just to be able to speak to them, and enjoy some time, pick their brains and things of that sort. Not only that, but like to kind of, even this, like something as simple as the, catching a project early, even if it was just one record, catching that early for me, like that's meaningful to me.
Sure.
Because I don't like, this is why I always didn't want to criticize or like, kind of give my perspective on their music.
Sure.
Is because I was always viewed as, Nemo would know, a harsh critic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I started to get labeled as a hater. I was like, the shit ain't good. I just don't know what to tell you.
Respect.
Because I'm also not even, like, when I listen to these songs, I'm not listening from my own perspective. I'm trying to see, like, what is the crowd going to be thinking? What is the listener going to be thinking? I got to put myself in different positions. Like, am I in the car when I'm driving? So I got to listen to it in the car.
Right.
If I'm just laying down or on my couch, like, how am I hearing this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
That's why I was also asking about, is there going to be visuals? Because in my house, multiple TVs play music videos every day.
Oh, that's fire.
That's all I do is music videos play all the fucking time. And I'm like, so I need to probably have Deshaun music on
Yeah,
here.
for sure.
And I'm gonna get on Deshaun J's ass too, because I need some videos for some records I like.
Yeah.
You know, if I gotta shoot them myself,
Yeah, shit,
it's gonna happen.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
And I just think those things are important, you know, because some people like myself, we're playing these music at every event that we have. Typically, I have something going on every weekend.
Yeah.
People are there. The musics are, you know, the visuals are playing all the time. So inside and out.
Sure.
So, you know, that's why I'm like, you know, I think that's important to incorporate that because, you know, maybe there's others like myself doing the same thing, you know, where they're a visual person.
Hell yeah.
And so, no, I'm excited to see what you guys have coming up and, you know, just the show itself, you know, I want to see some of these performances live, you know, and like these things, all these things I'm excited about. So I'm glad that you guys are also now, you know, bringing that excitement back to me, something I thought I lost. You know? And lately I feel like all my people that do music and stuff like that, they're all getting active with it. You know, shout out to Ann in Colorado, shout out to Deshaun J, you know, yourself, and a few other individuals who like everybody's just getting active, and I love that shit.
Yeah,
you know, I feel like the city's coming back to life in a sense. So that shit, you know, I'm looking forward to it. The 20th, February 20th, the album comes out. Crown.
Pre-sales are already out.
Yes, you could get the pre-order on iTunes Store. Just type in Deshaun, D''Shaun, Crown, CRWN.
And buy the shit so they can get money.
Buy the shit. And we made it as cheap as you could. We had to ask the distributors, but we made it as cheap as you could make a pre-order with it being $5.99. It is $6 to buy our whole 12-song album. That is a whopping 50 cents a song.
You can skip the Whataburger.
Yeah, that took 4 years for us to make.
Some of y'all spend more on the drink.
Yeah,
exactly.
Easy.
Your bar tab is going to be
y'all complain about that.
Come on,
man. Yes,
and that drink is gone in 10 minutes, and this album is going to be there forever.
Forever.
Speaking of drinks, the first 15 people that walk in through the door at the listening party will be received. They will be receiving a free drink or a shot.
Yes.
I guess I'll be paying for everything. So I'm late to everything, including my own events. So you know what I'm saying? But hey, introduce the new record. This is the one that's now streaming.
Oh, S'mores and Rum Chata.
S'mores.
So yeah, my name is Deshaun. This is my manager, Brotha Juice. We rap a little collective called Royalty, RYLTY.
If you don't know already.
If you don't know already, this is S'mores and Rum Chata, the single off my album, Crown.
You know, I start to think you fuck with me. Shit, I think that you might be in love with me. You say that you can't get enough of me. Well, I guess that's why you stuck with me. We on it all night. We got cold drink, and they all Sprite. We got loud roll, and the blunt's tight. And if I act right, you gon' let me fuck right. I've been on a long haul. You do business on a long call. Let's call your boss, let's take some time off. Fucking call the CEO. Tell that nigga you need PTO. This shit ain't freedom, folks be trippin' about that BTO. Yaks be trippin', I'ma see him know. Neck is all gold like a nigga C3PO. I just pulled up in that with the buttons on the dashboard. Hopefully you teach a nigga fast like a crash course. How you like it? Them ratchet hoes, they all uninvited. Let's make history, I'm trying to write it. We gon' pull an all-nighter. You got me weak, girl, you a pillow fighter. And I'm like the new cars when they parkin', I'm a spot finder. You just put cookies in the oven and forgot the timer. We wrote all these blunts to smoke and then forgot a lighter. This shit is cooler, ma, I'm cool and guess I start to like it. I'm trying to hold on to your handles like a mountain biker. I'm trying to cuff you up and lock it like we rocket Rikers. You came a long way from working at that Peter Piper's. And Lil Bay, I like it, Nash nigga won't get too righteous. No, you had niggas, never had a nigga who gon' do you like this. You gon' laugh and I'm gon' laugh cause you know I'm like this. Standing in your driveway for that long goodnight kiss. I could put you on the game is not a problem. We watch movies, you make s'mores and pour the rum chata. I got my ear onto your chest, you guess I was a doctor. I got goals to score a couple goals, we playing soccer. You new to this, I'm true to this, but I won't knock you. You get to getting all in your bag, Lamar, and I won't stop you. I'd rather treat you like a tow truck and get behind you. And know you fucking with the real, it's just a slick reminder. We on it all night. We got cold drink, and they all Sprite. We got loud roll, and the blunt's tight. And if I act right, you gon' let me fuck right. You know, I start to think you fuck with me. Shit, I think that you might be in love with me. You say that you can't get enough of me. Well, I guess that's why you stuck with me. We on it all night. We got cold drink, and they all Sprite. We got loud roll, and the blunt's tight. And if I act right, you gon' let me fuck right. All night. the blunts tight. And if I act right, you gon' let me fuck right.
Sing something, say. Sing something like. Sing something like. Sing something like. Sing something like. Sing something like.